Food Mood friends. Zen Odyssey, Chandra Zas, welcome back. Heal Your Gut. Program launch month. It's December. I'm so stoked. All right. So what I have for you this week is all about the social food dilemma. Are you with me? One of the big roadblocks that my clients and I ran up against is the social aspect of eating clean and especially specifically changing food habits. Because it is in our DNA, we have evolved and we are wired to share food, to break bread, to be together and eat together. We are so ingrained to do this. And I know that it was one of the biggest challenges that I had when I made food changes when I was in the thick of healing my gut. I went through yo-yos of eating really well, feeling really good, and then going to a family gathering. Family gatherings were the hardest for me, and sometimes even friend gatherings where I felt obligated, I felt pressured to join in and eat what everyone else was eating, even though I knew it wasn't good for me, and even though I knew I was going to have a bellyache. And I did this countless times. And it wasn't until I really firmly stood my ground, it probably was a couple years, honestly, of doing back and forth and ups and downs, until I finally just stood my ground and I said, look, my health is really important to me. I really want to feel great after this meal, after this weekend family gathering. And I really prioritize my gut health. It was a huge step for me. It was really, really big. And I had to get through a lot of emotions. I had to get through a lot of discomfort, a lot of funny eyes, a lot of comments. I had to process and deal with what people were thinking about me and even what they were saying to me. And it was really challenging. I think that learning the new food vocabulary was one big leap, and then dealing with the social aspects was the other really big leap. These are the big bumps. I had to do a big leap to get over the bump. It was tough. It was really, really tough. But out the other side and through the process with the tools of knowing how to feel the uncomfortable feelings, how to let go of people pleasing and let other people think what they want to think about me. Once I got through all of those pieces, out the other side, when I was like comfortable and relaxed about it, then everybody started coming up to me and being like, what is this food? I poop so well when I eat with you. And hey, what do you think about these foods? All of a sudden, it went from something that I was scared of and resisting and struggling with to something that people were coming to me and wanting to know more of what I was doing and studying. And they wanted to learn from me and they wanted to share my food and they wanted to eat together. And it had a really cool impact on a lot of my friends and family's life, where I thought in the beginning I thought I was an inconvenience and there was something wrong with me, and I got to a point where now still I feel like I'm an inspiration to people, and I'm a person they can come to for resources, or they can send their friends to when they want to make food changes. And this is one of the things that I find with my clients is in the beginning they're really nervous to tell the people that they're eating with that they're making food changes. And they come back to me after they've cracked a couple conversations and they've told a few people. Oftentimes, those people are like, oh, I'm also into this. And then they have this connection and they have this conversation that was not on the table before. And so a lot of people, we think that it's going to be this big deal, and then it actually ends up not being a big deal. And we can actually encourage and join other people to make these food choices and changes. For me, it's like I remember the heaviness and the hardness of it, and then to go out the other side and the lightness and the excitement of it. It's such contrasting things, and it's just this little piece you got to get through. You just got to get through this really tough middle. My teacher calls it a river of misery. And once you're out the other side, it's like a whole new world of opportunities and food choices and meals shared. I want to give a couple little, speaking of meals shared, I want to give one of my best tactics, one of the ways that I bridged the change was that I started sharing my food. I started, whenever I was going to have a meal at someone's house, I started offering, what can I bring? And I started bringing one of my favorite, most tasty dishes, and I brought a lot to share so that I could have a good portion of it and feel satisfied and fed, and that I also was sharing my food with people. And at first, before that, I was bringing my own food and it was awkward, but sharing food, because that is really the spirit. How can I share? And moms, my mom, are some of the most brokenhearted when we don't share food and when we don't eat what moms make. It's a really rough moment. But what I've found when those moments arise is that the whole point of being together and eating together, it's food, but it's also connection. And there is a way that we can focus on the connection and make food the secondary piece instead of the primary piece, because most of the time we're really eating together to be together. And we can be together without eating the same food. It's possible. I do it often. I've done it before, and the first few times are a little awkward, but it's not a big deal. And the whole point is to be together and connect. And there are ways to find foods that work for everyone, and there's ways to share, and there's also ways to connect without food. So just saying, it's possible. So the social food dilemma, it is and can seem and can be a big deal, and it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a big deal. All right, so this is program launch month, December. I'm opening up my slots. I'm opening up my calendar for you to come join me in up-leveling your food and mood game, to healing your gut, to lowering your digestive symptoms, and really rocking your life. So if you're interested in joining me, please reach out to me personally, Chandra at Zen Odyssey. I hope to see you in my inbox somewhere. You can also message me on social media, but reach out to me. Let's have the next conversation, and it's gonna be awesome. I'm really, really jazzed. All right, thank you so much for your time and attention. Have a beautiful day.